Hello there guys, this is Jack One Day talking here, and today I've got another video for you. Before we get into this video, can you please smash that thumbs up button and make sure you subscribe, and if you've got any questions, comment down below. I make videos on the latest and greatest tips, tricks and news on computer components and just other tech in general. So if you're interested, then definitely subscribe and hit that bell notification. Anyway, let's get straight into this video. So today's video is about the RTX 3070. I'm firstly going to use the PC UserBenchmarks website to use the stress test and basically put to test the graphics card and also the CPU, memory and other components in this build. So today we're using the 3070, it's a third party one by MSI, it's the 2-fan edition. We've also got a AMD 3600. This will be a very popular combo, so I hope you're interested. We've also got the Asus motherboard, the Gaming F version B450, and the Corsair Vengeance 286GB of RAM, the 3200 MHz. So let's get straight into the stress test. So as you see, the components we are about to benchmark are the processor, graphics, fixed drives, memory and USB drives. However, we haven't got any USB drives plugged in today, so that will not be tested. I think this test is a great way to test your PC, get a good understanding of the benchmarks and the capabilities of the machine. Because the website is so popular, you can sort of compare your computer compared to other people's stress tests and benchmarks results. It gives you a good understanding on where your PC might be very good at gaming or where it's weaker maybe at editing or at just general desktop usage. So here's the results. We have a gaming percentage of 131%, which is outstanding. This basically means that the performance results from this machine is 31% better than average. Yes, a lot of this does come down to that graphics card. We got a percentage of 93% for desktop, which is still outstanding, and lastly 127% for workstation. So if you're an editor, this will be perfect. The overall PC is performing as expected. It's got a rating of 53rd percentile. This means out of 100 PCs with exactly the same component, 47 perform better. The overall PC percentile is the average of each of its individual components. So again, this test is great as it allows you to see if your machine is performing as expected compared to similar or the exact same component. But you do have to consider a lot of people will overclock their components such as their graphics card and CPU, and from what I'm aware, this benchmark won't know that. So the processor, with a brilliant single core score, this CPU is the business. It demolishes everyday tasks such as web browsing, office apps, audio/video playback. Additionally, this processor can handle moderate workstation and even light server workloads. Finally, with a gaming score of 82.1%, this CPU's sustainability for 3D gaming is good. 159% is an outstanding 3D score. This GPU can handle almost all 3D games at very high resolutions. Boot drive. 357% is an exceptional SSD score. This drive is suitable for heavy workstation use. It will facilitate fast boots, responsive applications, and allow for fast transfers of multi-gigabyte files. Lastly, memory. 16GB is enough RAM to run any version of Windows, and it's more than significant for nearly all games. 16GB also allows for very large files and system caches, software development and batch photo editing/processing. Like mentioned earlier, this website allows you to test your components and compare them to the exact same component on other machines. It's a great way to find out if you're maybe bottlenecking your PC or if you've just got a faulty component. So I'd recommend if you build a new PC, you definitely use this website. It's also good maybe if you've had your computer for a few years and you go back to test it to see if it's decreased in performance with age, which you are definitely likely to see in hard drives. Anyway, with all my results being in the green, let's move on to the gaming tests. So we're going to test out Fortnite and then Warzone. Here's the settings I'm using on Fortnite. So I've maxed out all the settings. I've put my frame rate to unlimited. However, due to the monitor only having a 60Hz refresh rate, it's limiting the frames per second from what I'm aware. However, from the gameplay you can clearly see it is very sharp, lots of detail, and there's no jitter. It runs very smooth and I can recommend this build for this game. The ray tracing does a great job of enhancing the details in the game. Anyway, I'm going to leave the footage playing so you can just continue to watch, so you can see how the computer and in particular the graphics card performs. But feel free to skip to the Warzone gameplay. So here we are on Warzone, and like again, we've maxed out the settings, so have a quick glance of them on screen and let's get into the game. So as you see, there is a huge amount of detail. You can see very far into the distance, giving you the upper hand. It just allows me to be able to see enemies a lot further into distance without having to squint. The attention to detail is amazing. The light reflection from the moon in the sky and the shadows just render perfectly, as shown on top of this building. Again, the frame rate is locked in at 60 frames per second due to the monitor. I am only using a 1920 by 1080 monitor, so that's what I've got my resolution set to. However, I'm confident that this graphics card can achieve much higher resolution results, such as 1440p or even a 4K resolution, but with that will come drops in frames per second. However, for most games, I still recommend this graphics card, and I feel at 4K it will be able to cope well. But I'm sure if you've got that money to afford a 4K monitor, then you can probably afford the money to buy a 3080 or even a 3090 or even the equivalent AMD graphics cards. With the restocks of the RTX 3070 coming in very soon, I recommend purchasing one. They're a great all-rounder card, and like you can see, the benchmarks are great, especially with the combo of the AMD 3600 CPU. I'll leave the full PC specs down in the description and the links to the components on Amazon you can buy. Like I said, if you've got any questions or comments, make sure you comment them down below, and don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe, because that will be greatly appreciated. Anyway guys, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.